I'm sure you've all heard this story about the wise man who built his house upon a rock. And then the rains came down, and the floods came up, and the house on the rock stood firm. Then also there was a foolish man, and he built his house upon the sand, or the dirt. And again, the rains came down, and the floods came up, and his house on the sand went kaput. Well, what is this all about? Let's see where this story comes from. We can find it in Luke 6:46 through 49 and Matthew 7:24 through 27. Jesus said, "Why do you call me Lord, Lord, and not do what I tell you? Everyone then who hears these words of mine and does them will be like a wise man who built his house on the rock. And the rain fell, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat on that house, but it did not fall because it had been founded on the rock. And everyone who hears these words of mine and does not do them will be like a foolish man who built his house on the sand. And the rain fell, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat against that house, and it fell, and great was the fall of it." The whole point of the house on the rock and the sand is to teach us to listen to the instructions for life from Jesus and do what he says. Jesus not only taught us, but he also demonstrated it for us. Those instructions are found in here. When we listen and obey, we are like the wise man who built his house on the rock. Our foundation is solid, and we will survive the storms of life. When we listen but do not obey, we are like the foolish man who built his house on sand. We have no foundation. The storms of life will be very hard for us. The moral of the story is, listen to the instructions and do them. A life of obedience is like a house on a strong foundation of rock. When you listen and obey, Jesus will recognize you.